Have you ever walked outside and seen a super pretty girl, maybe standing by the cafe about to order a coffee, or you're just like walking around in a grocery shop? You want to say something, but you just freeze up. Your throat just develops this large ball in it, and you start sweating, and you're just thinking, man, how bad will I get rejected if I go up and talk to this girl? Well, you might have seen me in my video where I do 100 approaches in one day, and you see me have good conversations. You also see me get rejected, but it rolls off my sleeve. You might be wondering, what the hell is going through my head? Well, today I'm going to give you the major core beliefs that I have that will turn you into a person that can go do that very same thing and totally eradicate rejection for once and for all. All right? The only difference between you and someone like me, we might look the same, we might look even very different, is our beliefs, is the things that are going through my head versus the things that are going through yours. And believe me, I was there. I started in a place where if I opened my mouth, my very fear would be, how bad is this person gonna bitch me up, make a scene, and publicly humiliate me? Because I was that awkward. That's how bad it was. But now, I don't give two shits. In fact, I'm thinking, can this person handle all this riz, have all this wit, can keep up, can hold it down? Everything has been flipped. And even if they were to say, publicly humiliate me and say, get away from me, no, I don't want this, I don't really care because I don't view it as a rejection. So let me start off with that. What really is a rejection? If a person refuses your conversation or tells you to go away, is that really a true rejection of who you are as a person? Are they like looking into your soul, knowing the quality of human that you are and thinking, nah, no thanks, you're a bad person? No, a lot of times it's circumstantial. A lot of times it's just like in passing, or maybe some shit happened, maybe their cat died, and then they just don't want to be talked to by some random. A lot of times it's just the time and place, and it's not really you as a person, so it's not a true rejection. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this: even if it was a true rejection, we're not meant for everybody. You know, if some person that's going to cause chaos into my life, people I've met, like these guys, came up to me and they were like, we totally want you in our life, that wouldn't be the right fit, even if they were offering me that. And if they were like, no, go away, but this person was going to be a hellraiser and destroy my life completely and make it a living hell, I'd be thanking them for saving me that hassle and that pain and that heartache and that time. So rejection is like a filtering system, and people are just making decisions quickly, and you need to have your own as well too. Instead of worrying so much about being rejected, you can also be the rejector. You can be the person that has standards for yourself in terms of the people that you want in your life. I know it might not feel like you can be that person if you don't have a lot of choices or abundance, or you're not meeting a lot of new people, but put yourself in that position, because it will happen if you get good with your social skills, that you're gonna have to filter people out, because there are gonna be too many people hitting up to go do a lot of things. Your headspace is so important. Your time, your energy, what you put yourself into to be able to grow and be able to maximize your potential is so valuable that you're gonna need to be screening people away. If you're already overly screening people, then do the opposite. Allow more compassion, empathy, peace to persist in your life, and be able to extend that to others so you can invite them and welcome them in, and then also have real options for people to be able to meet or screen out. So that's the other thing. The third thing here is, I come from a place of wanting to contribute into a conversation. Less so from a place of, please don't expand my asshole and reject me and make this brutally painful. I'm not anticipating pain. I'm anticipating, hey, how can I make this person laugh? How can I make this person smile? How can I make this person feel free? How can I bring so much good energy and vibes into a conversation where we can just get lost and forget everything that's happening around us and enjoy the moment? This place of contribution brings power. It's only when we think about ourselves do we feel pain. It was one of the most profound things that I heard from a Tony Robbins event. It's like, when you expand your circle of consciousness, power comes to you. If you really think about it, when we only concern ourselves, we think about all the things that are missing. And it's hard not to feel shitty. Oh man, I could have more of this, I could have more of that, I could be more of this, I could be more of that. But when we start caring about our friends or our family or our community, all of a sudden we're just flooded with all these ideas of all the things that we could do to make things better and add to people and contribute in meaningful ways. And naturally, relationships between us and them are going to improve. Who doesn't want someone who's bringing value into their life? So whenever I go into interactions, instead of anticipating the pain and clenching my butthole, I'm just thinking, hey, how do I just bring good body language? How do I take right action? How can I be a normal person? How can I just smile? How can I be calm? How can I have good tonality? And then bring warmth. Bring warmth into the interaction, because oftentimes most people are afraid of dealing with others too. They're afraid of speaking to others, and then they're also sometimes nervous about being approached. But if you could kind of bring this this warmth, this welcoming energy, and you're a cool, laid back person, why wouldn't somebody want to talk to you? That's another belief. Like, I have a lot of cool experiences, a lot of cool insights. I've gone far and wide around the world to seek interesting experiences and information. I love sharing them with people. Even if you haven't done those things that you've lived an interesting life, you can always present the things in your life in an interesting way, right? There's always two sides to every story. Everything is a double-edged sword, right? So you might as well pick the side that cuts in your favor, right? And that's the thing. Make it interesting. Whatever it is, make it interesting. Then anything that you say will be a value add. Like, if you're just going to be lazy about it and just say the most mundane shit, yeah, nobody owes you their attention. So you might as well get good at telling good stories, and then you'll feel very confident going into any situation because you'll always have value to add. If you can bring humor to any situation, there's always value to add, right? You can always be interesting to anyone, and if you have that as a core belief, you'll be able to cut through all the noise and be able to connect with anybody. Everyone is always connectable. That was a core belief that I had. There's always a situation, there's always an optimal way, and it's like figuring out the puzzle while you're going through it. And that's also another thing that I realized by doing it so many times is just give yourself enough time and patience to weather the uncertainty. Just because you're not getting a positive reaction in that very second, does that mean it's bad? It's not bad. It's just sometimes there's a little bit of awkwardness. That's normal. But if you give yourself enough of a time frame, people can get a sense of who you are. You can get a sense of who they are, and things just naturally get comfortable, right? So if you can feel comfortable despite the uncertainty because you've weathered the storm and you've been there, you've done that, and you know that's the nature of these things, your headspace will be calm, and by the law of transitivity, others feel what you feel. Others feel what you feel. Remember that. That's a very powerful concept. So that's why if you know other people will feel what you feel, bring in good energy. Bring good energy. Have your own fun. Have your own fun. And then other people will find that contagious. And then you now create your own love. You now create your own self-fulfilling prophecy. When you bring in good energy, more times than not, people will respond to you in positive ways than when you don't. Also realize that it's kind of a numbers game too. It is a numbers game. You can always increase the conversion rate by doing all the positive things, the right things, bringing in good energy, right? There will be times that you get quote unquote negative responses, but let's redefine what the actual win is. What is the actual game here? The infinite game. I always viewed approaching strangers, talking to girls, trying to go make a sale as an opportunity to bring out my best self. What is the kind of person that I want, and what is the game that I'm trying to play? The game is getting myself to do the uncomfortable thing. Why? Because I want to be a person who's fearless. Why? I want to be a person who's charismatic even when I'm feeling my worst and not letting the external world get the best of me. I want to be in control of my mind, not the other way around. So every opportunity that I had to do that, I had to take it even if it scared the shit out of me, because that was the real win. Making the approach, whether the girl gave me her number or went home with me or she just flat out rejected me. Yeah, it feels good when she gives you a positive reaction, but the real win was that I went and did the thing that made me feel nervous. I conquered my own fears and stretched my own comfort zone. That was the real win. That was the real game, because I knew that it's not about the temporary external like accolade that mattered. It's if I keep doing that and keep growing in this way, in the far future or even in the near future, I'm gonna be more of a boss. I'm gonna be more the guy that I wanna be. I wanna be the type of dude that could just like walk through life at my own will and my own pace in the ways that I want, and I dictate what happens in my own life, than letting myself be the fucking reactor or receiver of all things and then letting the world dictate how I feel about myself. I want to be the person who's in control of that, because that means I can be a leader. That means I can share these things with others. That means I can make people calm when people are losing their shit, and that'll make me more of an attractive person. I'll be more attractive to other women, and I also can be a person that I'm proud of myself. I can be the type of person that other people can rely on as a teammate, as a friend, as a brother, as a lover, whatever you need. So this was my own personal development journey. And along the way, we did meet a lot of cute girls. And that's why I feel so passionate about this topic, because it brings out the best in you if you just surrender to the process, if you just lean into the fear. And the best part is, because there's so much fear, not a lot of guys are doing this. Not a lot of guys are doing this. Of course, the winners, the savages, the hustlers, the killers are all doing it, and they're doing it behind the scenes. And those are the types of guys that you will connect with naturally by doing this more. Those are the types of guys whose respect will be given to you just by the sheer virtue of doing this, because they know, we know, I know that not a lot of guys have the balls to do it, and it's easier to hate from the sidelines. But when you see someone going after it and getting it, even if they're not getting good reactions, they're doing it. They're in it. They're in the arena. So I got to always tip my hat off and encourage those guys. There's always going to be love. And those are the types of guys that savages always want to connect with, right? Women feel that and see that in a guy. You don't think it's easy for women? Yeah, women might be the choosers up in the initial phases, but even the most attractive women who are in Hollywood, who are models, who are putting themselves out there, they have to get hardened through this process, because literally they're getting rejected left and right for modeling gigs arbitrarily just because they don't have a certain look. These are things that they can't even change. But your presence, your energy, the way you show up, the way you just go up to somebody, that's all controllable. In the end, it's almost more about you than it is about the other person. It's you v you. Who do you want to be? I want to be a dude that I can look back on and be like, damn, I'm that guy. And it's not just purely out of like an ego reason, but more like a realization of my potential reason. You know, like, I didn't back down or have that many regrets. I went for it. That I could live with. I left it all out there. Went up and talked to the hottest girls. I went up and made the sale. I went up and put myself out there, put my dick on the line, right? And seen it all. From this process, you gotta trust that good shit will happen, right? You gotta trust that the more you take right action and bring in good energy, law of attraction, good energy will come back to you. You will get tested. That is the reason why the lows feel so low, but the highs feel so high. If it was that easy, it wouldn't really even mean anything. It wouldn't even count for shit. You wouldn't even be proud of yourself. But I can look back at the end of the day, it was like I went through this process and I came out on the other side of this alchemy, and I'm proud of who I've become. Now you drop me off in any part of the world, and even if I don't know anybody, I know what I'm made of, I know what I can do, and I will find a way to get friends. I'll find a way to get a girlfriend. I'll probably find ways to get 10 girlfriends. I'll probably get a little harem going on, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want that, you'll at least be able to find one. And not just a random one that you settle with, but like a one that you actually really want. Because you have options. You'll have options. You won't have to just hold on to dear life for this one girl and then just give your nuts away and just accept every term, even if it's horrible, just out of sheer desperation or laziness. Like, you can dictate what you want and what you get in life. What you tolerate is what you get. And this is the process for getting more. This is the process for getting better. And it's a win-win. It is a win-win. No girl wants to feel like the guy that they're with settled. They get angry. No girl wants to be second, third, fifth, 10th place, right? So you might as well do yourself and the other person a favor of finding and being with the one that you guys are both excited to be with. Be that dude, be that person. Be proud of yourself. Be somebody where you know what you're made of. And that will just shine through. Even before you even say a word, you could just see it in someone's eyes. So when someone that you meet even for the first time, before you even open your mouth, if they just look into your eyes and you look into theirs, they can feel that shit. They can feel if you're just fearful, if you're like trying not to lose, or if you're there to actually win. So anyways, these are some of the core major beliefs that I carry with me through this process. And coming out on the other side and helping a bunch of people do the same, it's changed all facets of life. This has not only changed the quality of our relationships with women, with friends, with, you know, high status people, high net worth people. It's bled into what we do in life, how we live, what we choose to do with our time, the adventures that we go on, the decisions that we make. Life has been a crazy adventure, and I'm in a car full of people who have been doing the same. And that will be a byproduct of you just taking life by the balls and just going for it. Fear aside. And that's how you quiet the noise and completely change your relationship with rejection altogether. If you like this shit, you know what to do. Sub, comment. If you want more, I can give you the actual tips and the actions and the tactics for being able to bring out these beliefs into every approach that you do. Stay tuned. Peace out. More later.